Joined by UMass Boston volleyball alum Shannon Thompson, who not only spent 4 years with the program, but also spent 2 seasons as an assistant coach. Shannon, first off, would like to congratulate you on being named the head coach at Division I Canisius College. What does it mean to be the head coach of a Division I program?
Thank you. I've been working for it since I started coaching. It's a really big deal to me. I'm really honored that they chose me to lead their program. But yeah, it's a really big deal to me. I'm really excited. Being a head coach was my goal, especially at the Division I level. So I've reached that goal, and now just looking at my sights to hopefully winning some conference championships, and then go from there.
Well, I want to start this interview talking about your journey to becoming a head coach after you left UMass Boston, where you had one of the most ridiculously successful careers in school history, 4 conference titles, over 1,800 kills, really leading the program to the first bit of success. You went over to Austria and you had a lot of success playing professionally and then started your coaching career there. What was it like playing abroad, especially at the professional level? And then how did you kind of start the transition from playing into becoming a coach?
Yeah, I had a great experience playing overseas. I learned a lot about volleyball, about myself, about the culture. And it really has guided me through the last couple years. I think the biggest difference is not everyone speaks the same language, so you kind of had to learn different ways to do things and kind of understand that everyone learns differently. And so that, I think, has really helped me is having coached over there in a different language where I was speaking English, they spoke German, where I had broken German, they had broken English. We kind of had to piece together how to coach and how to play. And that's taught me a lot about just coaching in general, because athletes learn in very different ways. And you may say one thing that will click with someone, but it may be a foreign language to somebody else. So it just kind of laid a groundwork of, being able to teach in different ways and help the athletes in different ways than just that cookie cutter model.
Do you think that professional experience in Austria, both playing and coaching, kind of helped you land a Division I job when you came back to the States?
I think so. I think being a Division III athlete, it was a struggle to get that first Division I assistant job. They just think that there's a different level, and you may not have that same skill set. So I think being able to go show that I could play at a higher level kind of really helps people see that I was able to do that and then could coach at a high level as well.
First, you came back to UMass Boston. What did you learn? Obviously, you knew Terry Condon and Michael Houlihan extremely well playing for those two, but what did you kind of learn in those 3 years in a different seat on the bench, in a different spot within the program?
Yeah, I think, you learn a lot when you come back and be a coach, not a player. Sometimes, as a coach, you feel like you want it more than the players, but every player responds differently. And like I said, you just have to find different ways. I think it was nice to see the side of what happens in the office, because I think we all think, volleyball is just X's and O's, but unfortunately there's all that paperwork and recruiting that go into it as well. So Terry and Mike helped me a lot with just kind of seeing how a budget works and recruiting and how camps work and just different aspects of it that as a player you have no idea goes on behind the scenes.
You got your first Division I break going to William and Mary, and probably didn't have the season you guys wanted at 5-25. What was that experience like? Especially, you haven't really struggled to win a lot in your playing career to have to go through some of those bumps and bruises in that first season.
Yeah, I think I learned a lot about when you lose, how to reframe what's going on. And I tell the girls now, we win or learn, we don't lose. And so it's learning about the loss, not just, oh, we lost and we're upset. I'm very competitive, so for me, that first year as a coach losing, I struggled, but again, I tried to help reframe my thinking and just go about it in a way of what can I learn from these losses? And then when we do win, making sure we really celebrate them and enjoy it.
After your first season at William and Mary, you went to Campbell University in North Carolina. Another rough first season, but this past year, all the way to the Big South Finals for the first time since 2015. How was your time with Campbell, and how do you think it prepared you or helped you get closer to that head coaching job?
Yeah, my time at Campbell was awesome. I had a really special group of girls that I'm still very connected with and hope to be connected with them for years to come. I think the biggest thing is that Greg, the head coach there, let me do a lot. And so I was able to learn a lot of the aspects of the position and was able to have my hand in it and was able to do it where some programs, they don't let assistants do as much. So, I had a really great mentor in Greg where he let me do a lot. And then I think the relationship that I had with the girls helps me kind of be able to transition into this new role and be able to really connect with the athletes in a different way, which I'm very excited about at Canisius.
Outside of just having the opportunity to be a head coach at the Division I level, what kind of attracted you to Canisius?
Yeah, the biggest thing is their holistic approach to the student. I tell the girls all the time that I'm not just training you as a volleyball player, but I'm helping you grow as a person. And so for that, at Canisius, that was the same thing. And they were wanting to do it in different ways than just, again, that cookie cutter model. I love thinking outside the box. So any place that kind of has that model is special to me. So I think it's that. And then I think there's a great foundation at Canisius to win. They've done pretty well in the last couple of years, and so I'm excited to build off that and just help these girls be the best versions of themselves.
Today was your first day on the job, and the MAAC announces no fall sports. How do you kind of take that in stride? Obviously, there's some benefits to that, considering you're starting the job in late July and the season would have started in less than a month. But there's also the having to play the waiting game. Maybe you'll get to play in the spring. Maybe you'll have to wait to coach your first volleyball match all the way in 2021 next fall.
I think it's a huge bummer. Obviously, we all want to be playing this fall. I also think it was kind of inevitable, and I think we were all just kind of waiting for that call. I'm actually excited, and I told the girls today, we actually get another kind of spring season. Obviously it's in the fall, but the spring to kind of get to know each other, and they can learn my training style and my systems and have more time with it instead of a couple weeks. So I think it'll actually be beneficial for us. And then, if we don't play in the spring, again, I think that will be a huge bummer. To have to go almost a full year without playing volleyball is kind of crazy. But again, I think it'll give us more time as a team to really gel and bond together, and they can learn me and I can learn them. And then that fall 21, we can kind of come out guns blazing and just kind of shock the conference a little bit.
How do you think being a UMass Boston student athlete and then coming back as a coach at your alma mater helped you for this spot? Do you think if you had gone to maybe a different school undergrad, do you think you'd be in maybe the same spot that you are in now?
It's kind of an interesting question, right? I know my personality, and when I want something, I'll go after it. But I think going and playing at UMass where we didn't have the luxuries of other teams or other schools, you definitely take things, you're very grateful for things. And so for me, it was I understand that we have to fundraise for gear and that we have to do the extra to be able to have the nice stuff. And at other schools where you don't have to do that, you're just handed nice gear, it's very different. So I think also at UMass, we learned to have to just be gritty and work it out and work hard. And I attribute that a lot to our coaches. They set us up and kind of pushed us to work hard and not really ever give up. And I think that mentality of do whatever it takes. And like I said, I have the personality where when I want something, I'll go after it. And I remember my senior year when we weren't doing as well, I remember telling the girls, we're winning conference and we're winning regionals. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's what we're doing. And so I think, UMass prepared me for a lot, and especially my coaches, Terry and Mike, have helped me a lot, as well as the few assistants that I had there. But yeah, I definitely think it's helped.
Well, Shannon, I know the entire UMass Boston community is rooting for you up in Buffalo. Whether you get to coach that first match in the spring or you have to wait another year, we're rooting for you, and hopefully you can win that first title with Canisius.
Thank you. I'm excited.